This video is not necessarily about turning this into this, nor is this video about turning this into this. However, this video is more about turning this into these chairs.
I have assembled 5 chairs. I have 1 chair remaining. I'm going to try to piece this together to show you just how long it takes to put 1 chair together. I am assuming you have all your tools ready. Whatever kind of jigs and combination you want to use, you will learn after doing the first chair. However, I do recommend using your own glue. I do recommend you whittle a little bit off of the end of their dowels. They use a very hard wood for their dowels. And I also, you might consider putting the dowels in the wet paper towel just before you put them in. It helps them to swell. Each chair comes in 4 pieces that almost go right together. Actually, it's not bad. And each chair comes with 14 dowels and a little tube of glue, which I recommend you throw away and use your own glue. Of the 4 pieces, I just dropped 2 of them into one of the side rails, and now I'll just add the top. I also recommend keeping a very wet paper towel because you're going to need to probably wipe glue off, and each time you do a chair, get a new set of paper towel with water. Also notice it works much better if you have the chair up high because you're going to have to look up underneath to get the mortise and tenons to line up. Then you can use the hammer and a piece of cardboard to, I don't want to say forcibly, but encourage the joints to go together. Don't be afraid to tap them. So teak is a hard wood. So now that it's together without the dowels, the next step, and probably the longest, is to put the dowels in. Okay, here are the first 4 dowels, and what I'm going to do is hold them with those channel locks, which I have covers for, and I'm going to whittle one end, just take some of the one end off of each one of those dowels because the dowels are really hard wood, and at least 2 different chairs at the top of the rail, the wood split because of the how tight they are. So be careful when you insert them. I just took the knife and whittled a little bit off of each end and give them a little bit of a point, and then I laid them in the wet paper towel. They won't get swollen immediately, but it will help once they're in there. Okay, the first 4 dowels, the front dowels, are in. And at this point, I do not sand or try to cut any of the pieces off. I do the other dowels on the back first. I've never had any problem with the alignment of the front 4 dowels, but I've had problems with alignment with all of the back aligning holes.
You can see the mortise and tenon fit tight and flush. However, the holes do not line up.
Okay, here's an example of the back holes. This I have as a feeler. It's 1 drill bit size smaller than the hole, and I use it just to put it in and make sure it goes in all the way. Once I can tell it's in all the way, I can come over here and you'll see what I mean. That one won't go in. This one will go in, but it's still not all the way in. Now, the problem is if you force the dowel in there, it'll separate this tight. See, this is tight, so there's no reason these should not line up. My recommendation is use the next size up drill bit, or the correct drill bit that'll fit that, and just gently cut a little bit out. Okay, let's try it again. So now, when I slide this piece in and mark it with my finger as a quick test, I come over here and you'll see it goes all the way in, just like the other side. when I drill this, I just pulse the drill. I do not turn that bit on or else you'll rip up too much wood. That's it. Good luck with that. The next thing I recommend is make yourself some kind of jig to hold that chair while you're applying a good bit of pressure and pounding to get the dowels into the back. I just used a couple wood clamps and attached them to the rail and then clamped it down. Notice also I have my wet paper towel ready because if any glue comes out anywhere, you want to wipe it off. There are 10 dowels in the back. These 6 go in pretty straightforward and always seem to bottom out okay. However, the 4 at the top, these went in, and you can see here maybe on the video, there's one that did not, and if you look really close and expanding, it's starting to crack, so I stop. If you're going to stop, it's better to let some stop at a point where you can get a good grip with a saw. I use this extra fine kind of Japanese flat saw, and it does really well, probably 2 cuts, maybe 3 cuts, 3 pulls, and it pops off, and works really well. Okay, you can see it popped off. However, it's not my best job, but I'm going to start with 120 and go up to 220, and you'll see that hopefully it goes away. And I'll also just probably start right at 220 on the others since they're already pretty flush. Oh yes, you will need an orbital sander. All right, so there you go. All the dowels are flush. Nice and smooth, scratch is gone. And that's about it. Chair number 6, done, complete. So there we are, 6 chairs, finally. Lots of cardboard, some I've already taken away. Every chair is boxed within a box. So there are 2 boxes for every chair, plus a lot of styrofoam, plus a lot of corner cardboard, etc. Allow at least 15 minutes per chair just to get it out of the boxes and all the boxes put aside.
So here we have it, the finished product. Not bad, eh? Well, you can see I'm working on this entire section of the yard, and I want to point out again that it's about 45 minutes per chair plus unpacking. So you can count on at least 1 hour per chair. 6 chairs actually adds up to probably closer to 8 hours. Good luck.